はい。お願いします。
お願いします。
Just a little bit of a warm up. Body up a little bit. Take a few deep breaths as well. So we'll do this kind of top down, just stretching the neck down a little bit to the chin. Up to the top, stretching back. And down. Bending. And again up to the top. And down. To the front and then to the left. And to the right. And the left. And the right. Over to the side. And then change. And again. And again. Okay, just using the hands, just pressing the head forward, pushing in with the head. And then doing the same at the back, pushing in with the hands, pushing back with the head. And release it. Just working the shoulders. And back. Okay, just rolling the elbows. And away. Just working the hands across. Bring the chest out. Okay, just circling the arms here. And away. Okay, just circling them up over the top, all the way over to the back here, and then just circle them back the other way. So I'm going to do one forward, one back, so not a full circle. Up, over, open, full mobility. Open it out, down. Just a few like this, big movements. And okay, just go to the hips. Nice big circles. The other way. And just twisting the hips. Let's do 3 times with the elbows. Hold on 1. Go 1, 2, 3. Hold it.
Yeah, only just on
1.
Thanks.
3. Hold. 3. Okay. Working nice big circles with the body. Look the other way. Okay, just work the hips, inside of the legs, side to side. Okay, bring the legs in, just work the knees, tight circles. And the other way. Okay, stretching them back. And bend them down forward just as far as comfortable. And back. Okay, just working the toes, ankle. And this side. Right. Just holding the ankle out of the frown, holding the foot. Good. And then just pointing between the toes, ball of the foot and then the heel. So you point, toes, ball, heel, toes, ball, heel, toes, ball, heel. Shake it out, you can just go to the other side. Circle. And the same, pointing, ball, heel, toes, ball, heel. Okay, good. Just put the feet like on a train track, so both toes are pointing forward. Just stretching forward a little bit. So, and change. Yes. Okay, just going a little bit further. Just going to bring the knee down to the ground. Stretch into the hip. And change. Okay, good. Okay, just coming back to here. Sink down into the knees and then just twisting through the whole body. Twisting through the spine. Lengthen as well as rotate the body. Good. And we just go to the wrist. We'll start with like a nikyo. Just a few and then hold it. Just on the back of the wrist. And release it. Change sides. Go to kotegaeshi, so just on the back. Here, twisting. So you're going to be in this position. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And you're just going to twist the palm kind of forwards. That's it. That's it. Good. And then changing, so you're in that position. Take, and then just twist the wrist. So. Okay, you're going to have the hand out slightly different. You're going to have the thumb on top, so it's on the little finger, or just over the little finger. And you're going to bend the wrist forward. It's as if you're bending the little finger towards the nose. In a slightly different nikyo stretch. And then changing. Also practice sealing the grip as well. So even though I'm doing it for the wrist, I'm also practicing the contact here. So really practice sealing the grip. And just one more. You're going to put the thumb inside the palm, just in the middle, like this. Yeah, that's it. And then you're just going to roll it out inside. So, and then just take it over towards kind of the armpit. The key thing is you're stretching this part of the arm, so it's like this kind of stretch. This in. That's it. That's it. And then just take it out, change the side. Just put the palm in the thumb in the middle, the palm, roll it under. Just take it out. So you're like
I'm a little bit lost again, sorry.
Got it? No, it's fine, don't worry. Yeah. You got that, you get this position, turn it inside that. Yeah, that's it. That's it, that's it, that's it. And then just take it over to that side. Yeah, that's it, got it, got it. There we go. Good. Then next one, you're just going to take the fingers. So just take all the fingers like this. So the palm facing up. You're just going to take the fingers. So and you're just going to bend the whole joint over. It's kind of working now the fingers and the elbow as well. So just stretch everything back. So, and then change. So just put the palm up, take the fingers this way. Yeah, and then just roll it over. That's it. Good. Good. And then just roll in the wrist. Yeah. Work them out. At the same time, work the fingers as well. So you kind of roll in the wrist, work the fingers. You can roll them both ways. Just closing the fists, like closing the fingers, like this. So you're doing like that with the fingers. So. Good, and then closing the fist, opening, closing the fist, opening. When you do it, just see if you can get that kind of. I'm going to close in it from the little finger. That's it. That's it. Once you've got it, just see if you can do it a little bit faster. That's it. That's it. Good. Nice. Good. I'm just going to go to the ground, a little bit of ukemi work. So it's going to be quite soft, so I'm not going to do a lot of rolling. So just come down, working on the back, just like this. If you've got one leg tucked under, I'm just going to roll back, really use the arms. Come over and then back up, just like this. Come down, over, back up. Really use the legs and really use the arms for the contact. Okay, I'm going to do about 50, so just do them in your own time. If you need to stop, stop. Just watch everyone else, but see if you can just keep moving, keep breathing. Just do about 50. Yeah. Just keep it nice and soft. Full contact with the ground. Just let the ground mold the body. Just keep breathing as you do it. Here we go. Really efficient movement up and down. Or 20 more, something like that. I lost count. I just go with it hurts. Okay, 10 more. And more. Okay, it's coming up. Good, still back. Good, just take a quick breath. Shake everything off. Okay, good. So I want to look at a little bit of Tanto work tonight. The reason being, it's also really interesting, somewhere between the weapon work we do in terms of bokken work and the atemi work we do with the fist. So the Tanto's a nice kind of way to cover this area as well, and it gives the hands something to do and something to look at. but and sometimes the empty-handed work doesn't kind of cover. So just take your Tanto. We'll just look at it. So with a Tanto, you've got a pencil or a knife. You've got. Okay. Good. So we're just going to look. Just first thing is just handling it. So I don't want you to treat it like a knife. I just want you to play with just moving it around. Forget that it's a knife for now. And just move it around. And just play with moving it around for now. Really forget that it's a knife. Unless you've got a knife. Use it differently. Let's see what you've got. Okay.
Rally, that's the try.
Good. Yeah. We just play with it for now. So So just manipulating it, moving it around, get used to the weight of it, the feel of it. So just playing with like the fingers, let it move. Pass it down in the back a little bit. Do it with your eyes closed. Just kind of move it around. If you've done a lot of knife work or you use a knife a lot, you'll just find the body's going to start to manipulate it like a knife. So I don't even need to think about that really. Just let it come out. And again, just feel the weight of it. Got a really, really different feel to block and work, obviously. So that's it. So what's the most obvious thing to say about the knife work? What's different from a knife than a sword?
It's smaller.
Smaller, yeah, good. There's something really obvious as well. It's to do with that as well.
Eight.
One hand. It's one-handed. So all the sword work's designed for two hands. Now you can't use the knife for two. You can use a dagger. You can use like John's got with two hands, just about. But it's really designed for one hand. So we use it in a one-handed way. So it means the other hand's free as well. So just explore now. You've got the movement, and just explore the other hand's also going to do something as well. So a lot of the knife work is also about transitioning, which is really interesting for us. It's about how to transition the blade. So just play now a little bit like it's a knife. Not too fancy, but just getting used to manipulating it. And just watch as you do the thing with the knife hand. What's the other hand doing? Just notice it. And it can do nothing, it can be on the body, or it can be like actively involved. The beauty of the knife work is it gives me that freedom of the other hand to do other things. It's mostly going to be grabbing in terms of knife work. Blocking or grabbing or striking. Mostly grabbing in the case of knife attacks.
Michael, are we going to be ambidextrous for this?
Say again?
Are we going to be ambidextrous for this, or can I be left-handed, or what?
Yeah, totally. This is one of the good things with being with a one-handed weapon is it challenges me to be ambidextrous. So it means sometimes I'm going to have to use the left hand, which we don't kind of cover with the Jo work. But we cover with the Jo a little bit more. We're a bit more ambidextrous with the Jo, but the Bokken's really totally a one-sided weapon, really. Just play a little
John's a lefty, so.
Okay, good. You have a lot of advantages.
Definitely.
That's it, good. So we'll just do some really basic stuff with a knife. So just there's obviously tons of way you can use it. So the first one, you're just going to hold it like this. Just use the first, like quite a light grip. So it's just like that. So just getting used to that kind of grip, which is quite soft. Now, what you'll notice if you watch knife attack videos and stuff like this, when people do attack with knives, they will grip it for death. So they will grip it like this. So that's the kind of grip you would usually deal with. So anything that's going to try and disarm the knife from the person is usually going to be quite difficult, almost impossible. But anyway, what I want you to just focus on for now, just keep it quite light. It's quite light. It's like that. So you're just going to use this kind of motion. So really, really soft. Just for now, just keep the feet as they are. We'll move around with them later, but just get used to that. Just that motion, just kind of slicing across. So just roll it across. Roll it across. So just do a few on side and then just change the side. So it's just in one hand. Just getting used to rolling the blade. That's it. Quite light with the hand. Just kind of drawing it across. That's it. Just check a few as you do it. That's it. Okay. Okay, what I want you to focus on when you do this, just watch for this happening. Now, like the whole body going, that's good. I want a kind of looseness with it. But in this case, keep a kind of focus forward, because my target in this case, it would be something in front of me. So that the point when I would make the strike is something here. That's the point when it would kind of enter through. So that's kind of where my focus is. It's not that the head doesn't move, but I don't want the focus to kind of drift. Then you're going into this kind of stuff. So keep a sense of a focus. It can be anything on the wall, something, but just get a sense of actually slicing through something. So just get this idea of that there's a point when I would hit a target and cut through it. There's a point when I hit a target and cut through it. What's the other obvious thing is with the knife, it's actually an imitation of it. This isn't actually a weapon. Well, it's a kind of a weapon. you could do some damage with it, but we really use it as an imitation for a blade. So we use it for safety in terms of things. When we use the bokken, we really use it as a bokken, as a weapon, boom, to hit things, boom. When we're using the knife, we're really using it much more as a bladed weapon. So in this sense, it's much more like a slice. It's much more like a cutting motion. So just get a sense that you've got much more of this. So it's got a bit more of like a whip quality. So just do a few both sides. Boom. Just keep in mind the kind of target in front of you. So, okay, good. Nice, nice, nice. So it's front and back. So, okay, good. And just notice, even in this one movement, there's different qualities of movement. So something I'm really interested in is like qualities of movement, what I'm doing when you're doing it. So if I make it all one kind of quality, it looks like this. It's all got the same quality, but there's a kind of movement of that, there's there's the slice where it would impact through, and then there's the kind of draw through. And then there's a nice transition. That. And then there's again a kick off, a slice through, and then a draw, a follow through. So there's the initial kick, slice, and then the follow through. And those have got different qualities, even though it's just in one cut. But see if you can kind of get the sense where it's actually something different. This is where you get like a whip. So it's got like a crack. In this case of a knife, it's got a slice and a follow through. So I'm going to meet the target and I'm going to slice through it. Meet the target, slice through it. It's going to have that kind of quality. Not so nice. Really quite kind of visceral in terms of the movement. That's it. That's it. Yeah, and in terms of this as a slicing movement, it's not going to be so much like you're going to hit here. So imagine when you're doing this in the target, it's really like this point. So it's going to be somewhere in this point. I'm going to kind of catch the person, slice through it, slice through it, slice through it. So it's got to kind of boom. So also feel now you can kind of stop the blade. It's going to kind of come to that point. That's the point when you would make the contact, and then the pull through is like it's the body. So you don't need a lot of power in the movement, but you do need a kind of sense of where I'm hitting, where I'm contacting, and then through, contact through, contact through. It's got that kind of quality. Yeah, that's it. Just play with it. Play with both sides. Okay, just do now. It's just a basic progression. You're going to just change one side. One, change the hand. Two, change the hand. One, change the hand. Two, change the hand. So you're going to change it that way. Change it that way. That way. That way. That way. That way. And sometimes don't change it. Sometimes just do that. Play with it a little bit. You can change it at any point. That. So the hand is always, the other hand is always going to be ready to kind of take the knife. That's the other thing I need. Apart from the hand needing to grab or do something, it needs to be able to take the knife at any point and change the side, because that hand can get gripped. And what I need to do is straight away be able to change the side, this hand. As soon as I get immobilized in the knife hand, I need to know how to get it out. So just play with transitioning that. Keep that simple movement horizontal, but feel that you can just play with it. That's it. Good. There we go. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Just play again. You can do different qualities of movement, so you can really like contain the movement, and it can be something like this. So it can be quite that, or you can do like a big slashing movement. So just feel you can play with it. Make it big, like a kind of big slice, or you can make it quite like a really very, very, very sharp. So you've got something that's quite big and something that's quite sharp. So you've got that kind of qualities. Just play with those qualities. So even with a very simple movement, you can really just open it out a lot. That's it. Good. Okay, we're just going to change the grip. Just go to here. So you're going to thumb up, hand over the top. The blade's facing forward in this case, so not facing the arm. Going to be in this position. I'm just going to slice out the same way. So it's that movement, and then rotate the blade over. That movement. So you rotate the blade each time. That, over, that. And once you've got it, just start to make it one thing. That. there, there. And again, just watch where the other hand is. I'm going to start to use it next, but just somewhere there, there, there. That's it. That's it. Good. And again, just play with the connection. So where does that movement come from? How do I initiate that one? Especially the one that comes across, back across. It's quite a tricky connection. So if I'm locked up in the joint, it's quite, I get into this kind of position. And then it's not very subtle. So I need something in the wrist to open out as well. So something needs to open out to do it. So it's much more like a drawing movement. If you've ever done like Iaido, where you draw the sword out of the scabbard, it's got this kind of quality. So it's got a kind of drawing out. It's got a kind of that kind of movement, and then back that movement. So for me, this is like an opening movement, and then there's a bit of a closing movement. That way, that way, that way, that way. That's it. That's it. So good. Try both sides. Reverse grip. So you've got one reverse and two. One reverse and two. One reverse two. There. 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 So good. Yeah. Good. Very nice. Good. And again, just play with alternating the grip. So you're going to go. Sometimes you'll find you go into that grip. It's also fine. Just play with slices. Change the hand there. Change the hand. You'll find one pattern maybe is a bit more comfortable for you. So you've got that. You can also, actually just stick to changing it. We'll just keep it simple. Just changing through the hand. Boom, dum, dum, dum. So if you want to change the grip, change the hand. And you can change it whenever you like. So that. Again, just keep in mind you've got like a target. Something in front. There. Again, play with kind of sharp movements, or long, drawn out movements. That's it. Good. Good. Yeah. Okay, nice. Good. That's it. That's it. Great. That's it, great. Skip the last one. Okay, so now play with transitioning just in one hand. So you've got that. So just keep one hand, just the right hand, or the left if it's your dominant hand, and then play with just transitioning it. So you can transition it there. But I always want, in this case, the blade to be forward. So whenever I transition it, and I've got to be quite supple. And don't worry about losing the knife. Just play with that, and then you can just bring it into a slice. Make the transition, make the slice. The thing I don't want to do in this case is this. I don't want to kind of transition it as I slice, because the blade's really not in the position. So really make sure when you make the transition here. You can also hide the blade, so you can practice kind of hiding the blade, there. Hiding the blade, there. Hiding the blade, there. So just play with like, the transition's usually going to be hidden in the knife work. So I'm not going to kind of show it since that's the camera. I'm going to kind of, it's going to come from, you won't know where it's going to come from. So it goes a bit later, but just play with kind of like a one-handed transition. And again, play with both sides. You'll probably find one side's pretty easy. One side's a bit more tricky. Tends to be the dominant hand, but not always. If you find both sides equally easy, you're lucky. That's it. That's it. Good. And the transition is really important. So we tend to focus on the strike, but really these transitions, really, really helpful. So play now with like the one-handed transition and also with two hands. Just play with it really. So just with one simple movement, working in a horizontal, you've got tons of possibilities. And again, big movements, short movements. That's it. That's it, that's it, that's it. Good. Good. Okay, so we'll follow the same similar pattern with all of them. We're just going to start to move the feet now. So I'm not going to give you any kind of real guidance on it. I just want you to move the feet with it. So just move. Don't do anything really complex to start. Keep it quite simple and just feel that you're going to draw the whole body with it. And again, you can start with very simple, just this one-sided. Or if you're kind of comfortable with it, just go straight in, like changing the hands, change into a backslash. Just keep the steps nice and simple. And again, have a very clear idea of a target. So my target's here, and I'm going to move up that way. So I need to have a clear sense of a target. Even though we're playing with the knife and all this kind of stuff, it should have a kind of a serious quality. So it should be playful, but it should be knowing what I'm really doing with it, which is really slicing something or cutting through something. It doesn't have to be a person either. It's just slicing through something.
Michael, I've probably played too much tennis and too much squash.
Say again?
I'm playing too much tennis and squash. So am I doing uppercuts or am I keeping it horizontal?
In this case, we're going to play with it later, so you can open it out. For now, it's really good you mentioned you're playing squash and tennis. It's really similar to tennis and squash. So there's that like this point like sweet spot. Boom, that's the point when I would cut with the knife. So play with it a little bit. If you feel like it's going to open out into that, like a slice, go to that, or like a backhand. So like that, or coming up with it. We're going to explore them a little bit next, but just if it kind of comes up, don't force it. Don't stop it, basically. But at the moment, I'm kind of keeping that kind of playing. Just keep it a bit clear. And what that does is also gives me a really clear range of motion that way. And then later what we're going to do is open it out. We're going to do next is like that and that one. We'll kind of work into it a little bit. That's it. That's it. Yeah, and again, just move the feet forwards, backwards. Keep it nice and simple. And I want the footwork, I want the blade and the handwork now to really be led by the body. So just watch this a little bit. So when you do this moment with when you do the body work, really make the body work the priority. So what we've just done is a lot of like handwork transitions. Now this becomes the focus. What I want you to do is integrate it back into the body. So what I want you to feel is like every movement's going to come from the body. And back from the body. Back from the body. So the knife work, because the handwork is the aim of it is to integrate it into the body work again. So again, all the stuff we work on in the mornings all the time and all these classes, like whole body movement, working from the ground, center to periphery. This is really what you're working at. So keep it simple, but get this feeling again. Center leads, center leads. That's it. Good.
On the floor.
Yeah, and don't worry about two things: dropping the knife or hitting yourself. Especially hitting yourself. We do it a lot. Yeah. That's it. Good. And just move around the space a little bit. Some people, it depends what you're like as a person. If I've not got, if you kind of imagine people in the room or things in the room that you're kind of attacking or slicing to or going towards, that's kind of useful as a thing. If I just think about there's something behind me, it can become a bit kind of wishy-washy. So think about things in the room or people coming into the space and just having a sense now of something. So there's a very clear defined target, something here, something here. So for me, it's always, although it's like we're practicing freedom and playfulness, it's always going back to what are we really doing, which in this case is attacking with a knife. So you're attacking something. So have a pretty clear focus with it, but be playful in it as well. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, and if you've got something like soft that you can hit, like a cushion or something like that, also use it because it's also good for feedback, like how the structure is. You don't need, I don't need to absorb with it, but it's, if you've got anything you can kind of boom, follow through with. So it's quite useful. Just to give you a little bit of feedback. And you don't need a lot with the knife. That's the good thing. It's kind of the blade will do all the work. I want to, yeah, it's actually good. When you do this one, if you do with impact, what I don't want to do, if I'm doing like this, is like, I don't want to push the knife through. So I don't want to do that kind of, I just want to, so I don't want to push the knife at all. It's like, so it would just like follow through. Okay. That's it. So don't push it, just draw it. That's it. Good. What is this? Good. That's it. Yeah. And again, just play with it a little bit. Work around the space. Nice. Good. Really simple stuff. Good. And then just open it out now. So you're going to work with like a slice down. So we're going to keep the knife like this, just slicing down this way. And then you're going to slice up as well. So you've got 1, 2. Just do a few like this, just one side, just feet down. And again, it's just getting used to this feeling. Now, really like a kind of whip down. So there's a kind of, what we do in the bokum is a bit like a boom. Now the tanto works really like it's like a slash and then a slash up. We're using the same body mechanics, but it's just a slightly different feeling. It's a slightly bit more like an elongation down the wrist. That's it. And it's just passing through the object. That's it. Just passing through. That's it. And again, change hands when you feel like it. Just like that, like that, like that. The first few when you do these, or when you want to play, I usually use something like a knife for warm-up or something like that. It give you like a kind of I'm just really practicing mobility, like how does the joint elastically connect to the body? And then once I've got that, yeah, then I start to, how do I functionally use it? How do I use the joint? That's it. That's it. Nice. Yeah. Good. Okay, so you've got that way. I'll run through these quite quick now. So you're going to go slice down. So you're going to go across it. So it's like this. It's like here, this way, and then slicing down, and then you turn it up. So in this case, I like the gi because it gives me a really clear line. So the keseg cut on the gi. You go that way. So it's like up to the chin and then reverse it back. Up to the chin, reverse it back. So again, just getting that kind of quality again, like a kind of wave whip, drawing movement. That's it. Okay, just look at one thing, especially when we go to a little bit more complex movements, and especially where the arm's coming out. Just watch one thing. I don't want the structure to start to pull out. So I don't want the structure to come into these kind of positions, or like this kind of, and I don't want the structure to come up. So I don't want my center of gravity to come up. It's a very effective way to use the body, but if you're looking at kind of functionality, and in terms of Aikido work, I want to keep the body quite low. So with these kind of movements, feel that when you go up, something's sinking down. That, and the structure is basically maintaining that. And as you come down, maintain the kind of structure in the core of the body. Just watch for like that, or that gets drawn out. So again, just going to balance, centering, and the more I get that, the more I can let the knife do the work. So the more it's got a structure, solid structure behind it. That. Good. That's it. Again, switch both sides. Play with it a little bit. That's it. That's it. Good. Very nice. Yeah, good. That's it. Good. Yeah, and some of you gone here already. So go now like this grip again. Just like that. These moves are a little bit difficult because I can't now do like that and then something like that and then slice down. It's not possible. So in this case, you do something like that, and then you straw it back. And this would later translate to a kind of stabbing movement maybe. But for now, just think about slicing up, drawing it back. Slicing up, drawing it back. So this has got a really nice quality now. You've got like a movement like this and then it's like a slow wind back. So it's like a boom, boom, boom. And again, it's really about the quality of the movement. So you've got that there, that there. And again, I want the center to kind of kick it, and then draw it back. Draw it back. Yeah, that's it. And then you've also got this way. So you've got this way, slicing up. You can also do that way with the knife like this. So that side, you can do the other way. So you can do that, and you can do that. Just about possible. The one you can't do is, you can do that, but it's a bit awkward. It doesn't really work with the shoulder. So you've basically got 3 on that side. That, that, that. That's it. Got it, got it, got it. Okay, work a little bit with combinations now. So we'll do this as a set. So you've got like that down, this up, and then it's going to cycle back around and go up that way. So it goes from this side up to the ear, from here, down, slices back up, rolls down, and then slices up to there. And then you just change it back. So it's down, up, across. Down, up, across. Down, up, across. So just a kind of 3 combinations. Dong, dong, dong. Yeah. And again, even though I want to keep it fluid, I want to keep it flowing. Keep in a sense that you're really like cutting through something. So it's it's really got a sense of slicing through. Yeah, that's it. So I need the blade to be really in a position where it's gonna really slice the person. I don't want it in that. I don't want to basically hit them with the hand. That would be okay. Boom, would just hit them with the hand, but I want to get a sense of something slicing across. And this is how it relates to us in Aikido work. So I don't want to like hit them like this with the hand. I want to slice through with it. So this, when it relates to kind of kokyu work, it's really using the whole joint, not kind of that. I want to use the whole joint.
Can you show us the down, up, across in slow motion again?
Say again.
Can you just show us the down, up, across in slow motion?
You got it in the reverse grip. So it's at this side of the ear. You go across, down, back up, and then from here just let it drop, center the body, and then slice it back up that way. So it's going to go across the body that way. So it goes down, up, and then it goes back down to that position, and then it slices up. So it's probably that just transition 1, 2, transition, and then 3, slices up. Got it. That's it. You could do this anyway, really. I'm just choosing a kind of 3 set, but later just play with them a little bit. Some of them are more comfortable than others. Again, play with both sides, get used to both. And then some of you are already there. Once you get the coordination for it, you stop thinking about the pattern. Go to the feet and just play now like moving around the space a little bit. You can work now with like that, we can work with that, but just work now with like diagonal slices. So you've got that. This for me it feels much more open, so it feels like I can really start to go into like rotation work now. So play a little bit with like stepping backwards, forwards, backwards. Actually, well, I'll do a short set just to give you really a clear view on it. Get like the sense that you're going to step in with this cup and then step back with that one. So you've got like that way. So it's really a sense again. I want the whole body to be delivering the weight through the blade, and then back up. So it's got this sense of like this. So it's got a similarity to the Bokken work, but it's just a bit of a tweak where it's just a bit more. It's a bit more of a slashing movement. That and then that. But it works the same principles. I want the whole body to be integrated behind the weapon. Using the ground, balanced, centered, all that stuff. That's it. Yeah. There we go. Good. Just notice again, what's the other hand doing as you do it? Just pay attention to the other hand as well once you get kind of into it. And you can do whatever you like with it. I just want it to be, I want to be aware of what the other hand's doing. And then obviously later I can use it. Once I know what the hand's doing, or I know where the hand is, I can use it to maybe grab, or I can use it maybe to block and make a movement. So that the other hand's never going to be passive in the movement. It's always going to be doing something. It's always going to be doing something. It might also be striking as well. Doing something. Usually in Aikido, when we do this kind of knife work, it's going to be used like a blocking movement. So I'm going to like defend myself, block, and then I'm going to cut down with the knife that way. So it's used as kind of suppression. But yeah, you can grab. You'll find most attacks, most knife attacks that you, if you watch real knife attacks, they're usually done with also with a grab. So the knife will probably be in the back hand. There'll be a grab, and there'll be like thrusts like this. So most of the stuff will be a grab followed by a strike, which is why Aikido is really useful, because we deal with grabs all the time. That's it. Again, just go to kind of enjoying it. It's just that. I want to really work towards something that's quite calm as well. So it shouldn't have a quality like it's really obvious. I don't want to be like overly aggressive with it. So I don't want to be super functional. I don't want to be like this kind of stuff. I want to be really like, boom. It should feel like nothing. The movement should just feel like, boom. That. So just feel like nothing, like throwing a ball or whatever. It's something very natural. No stress at all. That. Just play with it, moving around the room. So play with combinations, 3/4s, transition in the grip, everything. Just play with everything. Hiding the knife a little bit, maybe. Nice, nice, nice. We'll play with one transition, just opens everything up and just a little bit, and it's a really easy one. It's just changing it behind the back. It just gives you a little bit more openness now. So play with this. Also now include like the slicing. So you've got that horizontal, you've got the slice this way, and just play with like transitioning it. Now the transition is really great for like giving me a little bit of mobility. I want to be careful that as I transition, I don't touch the blade. So you can touch the back of the spine, that's okay, the spine of the blade, but don't touch the blade itself. And just be really aware of it as a weapon. Super dangerous. If it's Japanese dagger or knife, it's going to be very sharp, super sharp. Maybe like horizontals, diagonals. Just really experiment with the angle, especially that diagonals. Play with different angles. It can be quite vertical, or it can be quite horizontal, and everything in between. Reverse grip. Whoosh. That's it. Good. That's it. Good. Nice. Yeah, and there's one quality that I noticed with a really good knife fighter. When you've got someone in the dojo that is a knife fighter or that's done knife fighting before, you will know it. But one of the things they've got is like a really looseness in the upper body, super loose, very fast. The transitions, of course, are like seamless. You can't see them. But what they've also got is like a really grounded body. So they're grounded but mobile. So you'll see a lot of knife fighters are really take quite a low position, and they're quite mobile. So play with this quality, which is like looseness on top. So again, it's a quality we train in the Bokken quite, also the Jo a bit more, but the sense of like a grounded but mobile body. So really heavy. So because I want that lightness to be attached to something heavy that will really impact when I need it to. So just play with something, play a little bit with the posture. You can also go a bit lower with the posture. So you've got a sense of like hugging the ground with the center, and then the movement's going to come from that. That's it. And just play with it again, just a little bit of a lower center. Play with combinations. And work with compact movements, big movements, just play with everything. Good. Very nice, good. Good. Okay, we're going to really quick, just a movement, some really basic ones. So attacks we're kind of familiar with in the dojo that we use. These are all a bit unfamiliar maybe. So what I want you to do is go like to this. This is a basic ski. So that the blade's going to be pointed this way, pointing up. The grip's on the back, and then the blade's kind of hidden behind the body. So it's like this. What you're going to do now is you're going to roll in with the body and thrust up this way. So the thrust itself is like an arc through this. And the reason for that, it's not just a stabbing movement, it's a slicing movement, which I would withdraw. So it's like that would come back up. So just play with the footworks like this. Back, the knife's hidden. You're going to draw, a bit like when you do the Subaru work, you're going to compress into the front leg and draw the body forward. And then just draw it back. Just that. And I want, again, the movement to be like seamless. It should be like hidden. Comes through. So again, look at the kind of quality of the movement. You've got something that's like a cake, and then a movement, and then a draw back. So a cake, a draw, and a draw back. So just play with both sides. Do 3 or 4 one side. Keep changing them. Okay. Yeah, just watch for loading the movement. Again, I don't want to load the movement too much, so I don't want to kind of. I want it to go like. So it should come straight out. So it's like a loaded spring. It's like here. It's totally loaded. I don't go like and then do it. So that moment like being here, I want the body to be really low, even though it's quite passive. The movement's in that, and then I just comes through. And then the body follows that. So just look for that. It's like a punching move. So really a ski. So it's got that and then that. So look for something a bit more that. Even if it's slow. It's got that kind of quality. And again, try and get the feeling with the knife like it's just passing through. So it's going to go like this. Through. And I don't, in this, you get that kind of attack a lot of the times in the knife. This is really like a killing blow. So it's like through, and then it cuts up, and then if I need to, I use it again. But just get this sense it's going to really like puncture through. It's going to travel on that line. This is like Joe works, like a kind of thrust. Yeah. But again, I want something that's quite direct, quite sharp. That. Something really direct. So that's it. Good. Nice. Okay. So we're blending the last one. So you're going to do this one. You're going to do this. You're going to do this thrust. Yeah. Now, as you come back, you're going to transition the blade, and it's going to be in this position. Yeah. And then you're going to slice through like this. So then come back. So just do this as 2 sets. It's behind the back, blade pointing up for the thrust. And then as you come back, transition the blade, hide it again, and then comes through. This is like a Yokomen attack. And then transition back. So just play with those 2. It goes 1, back, transition, 2, back, transition, thrust, back, transition, Yokomen, back, transition. So if you're going to struggle with the coordination, just do it with your dominant hand. Kind of run through the last few pretty quick. Again, something quite direct. That's it. Okay, got it. That's it, Nick. Good. Good. Very nice. That's it. Pretty easy. We're going to do the last one. There's 3 for this. So if you go like this, 1, draw it back, that blade down, coming through Yokomen. And then what you're going to do is as you come back, you're going to transition here to this position. You come here. And this is a new one. You're going to come across the body and then stab it through. So you're going to go like this. This movement's like this. Draws across. And then as I come through, comes in this way. And this movement has a really special quality like that. Yeah. This is like, yeah, this is like a Buraken. So it's like that kind of movement. So you go like now, like one, leg facing up, one, draw back, two, yokomen, draw back, three, bursting through. And then you just come back. Leg facing up, coming back, coming back, coming back. So you got three nice sharp movements. Ski yokomen and a kind of gyakyu yokomen in this case. Okay, good. Again, keep, even though when you do a stab, keep the sense that it's going to follow through. So it's in there, because if we do like that, keep in a sense it's going to follow through with it. So there's something going to like, then I'm going to kind of pull it out to do it. So it's like, and I want it to like travel through. I don't want it to be like superficial. Also with the stab, I want it to like follow through, whatever you do. So just mix them up now and get like, you can do this as a set again, 1, 2, 3. Whatever you do with it, but get the sense that it's like drawing and passing through. So it's got to kind of, and I want the camera to be hidden. So I want the movement to be like blurry. I want the camera to miss it. The knife should be hidden. If the camera can't catch it, the human eye is going to struggle as well. So I want the blade to be invisible. So just start to play with it, open it out again. Play with everything we've done today, this evening. Just play with it, open it out, move around. You can do 1, 2, 3 combinations. Anything else that comes up, just play with it. There's tons of possibilities with the knife. What makes it a great weapon. So, again, transition the hands, all this kind of stuff. Work it behind the back. Just really open everything out now. Just want to make it start look very easy, really playful, but also really functional. And the knife's the hardest weapon to deal with if you're talking about bladed weapons. Sword's not so bad. You can really see it coming. This knife, you'll probably never see it coming. Nice. So just the last minute, just change the pace a little bit. So when we do this kind of playful approach, it doesn't include also tactics. So I just kind of attack, move, mwah, mwah. Everything's going right, everything's going well. It assumes I've hit everyone and everything's done. Get a sense now that you're going to kind of stalk a bit. So if we were to do this in a partner, I'd basically stalk around the people. So it'd be like this. And then really choose your attack quite wisely. So I want to get into position, really calm again, let everything sink down. And it doesn't even have to be fast, but just get the feeling now it's going to be something quite direct, and then back. And again, trying to have the sense that you're going to hide the knife, whatever the target is. Now feel that the target's also moving in the space. So I want to align myself to it. Cover the knife work. Maybe it's also in the gi. So kind of be playful with it. You can tuck it in the pants, whatever you like. Be a bit tactical with it. And I want to be a bit hidden with the knife. So you don't want the knife to be seen. Until it's too late. Yeah. Just play with it last couple of minutes. That's it. Good. Okay, great. So there's a Aikido school which actually does a lot of knife work, and it's the Tomiki schools. So those are schools that were founded by Tomiki Sensei, and he was a judoka, and he mixed competition in with Aikido. So they do competitive knife work, and they do it with a very soft padded knife, but you basically score points by stabbing the person, and the other person scores points by throwing the person. really fun. If you ever get a chance to play, or if you go to a place and they've got a Tamiki school, go to it because it's great fun. I used to go quite a few times when I was in university, but it was actually really interesting because a lot of the Aikido really worked, but it was very hard to get the person to commit to an attack. So you spent a lot of time neutralizing the person with grips. So you were neutralizing the person and they were constantly shifting the knife. So you were constantly having to neutralize. And then the moment they got into a committed attack, they usually went out of balance through the attack. So they usually go to something like that, and then it was really easy. Kotegaishi just came straight on. So one of the things is like when we do this work is like really keeping everything quite grounded, and always going back to these kind of principles we use because it's very easy with the knife work to get into this kind of stuff, and it becomes so much about the knife, and that's okay for fighting. But what we're doing is something else, so we need to be a bit more grounded and work on this kind of principle. So that kind of feeling of being really grounded, calm, all those kind of qualities, and a really interesting weapon to play with. Just have one lying around, play with it. It's also really fun to do. So anyway, okay, all clear. Any questions? Anything before we go? No. Good. Okay, well, good. Hi. Domo. Arigato. Gozaimasu.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was great fun.
You're welcome.